Emotional affair. He had to hold back tears while watching the tribute video that played for him before the game. Luka then reminded Mavs fans exactly what they're missing out on, dropping almost 50 in the Lakers win over Dallas. And listen, I am an emotional person. I'm fine with tears. I love that he was crying. Show your emotions, no problem. I couldn't help but sit there and watch and think, boy, he would rather still be on the Mavs. Why are you rolling your eyes? You don't think he would rather be on the Mavs still? You think if he went back in time, he wouldn't change it and never be traded to the Los Angeles Lakers? I thought it was very interesting. Someone sitting there on the bench in tears as to what was going on in Dallas, that he's not on that team anymore. He probably wishes Mark Cuban was still the majority governor of the team and he never left. Never seen a teammate of Michael Jordan's cry and want to be on another team. Just saying.
Oh, brother.
Just saying. You don't think Luka would rewind time and never be traded?
Evan, you were doing so well. You were on your best behavior all morning. What in the Dow scene, Mr. Fantastic, Manute Bowl Reach is going on over there for you to say something like that? Jay-Z, I'm sure, was sad when he broke up with his ex, but he would rather still be with Beyonce. And Luka Doncic is with Beyonce of the NBA in Los Angeles right now. I'm sure I understand. He was sad. It was tough to be out of Dallas. I would be crying too. He thought he'd spend the rest of his life there. But when Beyonce walks in the club, and you get Beyonce's number, you are the happiest man on earth.
But you don't cry. Jay-Z doesn't cry when he's with Beyonce. The tears are done.
Evan,
there's no more tears.
But the tears
no more drama, Mary J. style.
The tears are not about being with the Los Angeles Lakers. The tears are about showing vulnerability and appreciating 6.5 years of my life were spent in Dallas. You saw him walking into the stadium. We had a camera following him the entire broadcast. He was hugging stadium workers. He was hugging people that he used to work with from the social media department of the Dallas Mavericks. This was not about, oh, I'm so sad to be with the Lakers. I really want to be with the 10-seed Dallas Mavericks right now. My life just flashed before my eyes.
Yes.
He probably had not given himself the moment to think about all that had gone down in about a 2-month stretch. This is the first time he was back in Dallas. Of course he's going to feel some type of way about it and let that wash over him. It has nothing to do about where he is now.
Your take made my Cam Ward Mahomes take look brilliant. Okay, that's how I'm framing this.
Way about it and let that wash over him. It has nothing to do about where he is now.
Your take made my Cam Ward Mahomes take look brilliant. Okay, that's how I'm framing this right now. Is I no longer have the boldest take on this show. Someone's call it stupid, but we'll put that aside. To me, I agree with Courtney. He's nostalgic about a chapter of his life ending and reflecting on that and seeing how much the community of Dallas rallied around him. But he is so happy right now to be away from the GM and the owner who thought it was a good idea to trade him. That's a pretty big red flag that you thought, okay, we don't need Luka Doncic. We can get rid of him. To me, I grew up in Florida. There's nothing, in theory, I'd rather do right now than be with my high school friends, play around and golf in Orlando, Florida today. Probably very, very warm today.
First take. What's the matter
That's
with
what
you?
I'm trying to tell you. In theory, I'd love that. But guess what? For my professional life, I need to be here. He's looking at this right now saying, guess what? For my professional life, being a Laker, being with LeBron, being with Rob Pelinka, being with ownership, being in a place where every free agent is dying to come, that is why you move for work.
And you're going to, oh my God, if he could rewind time and he can go back and Mark Cuban.
What is he, Jay Gatsby?
And Mark Cuban owns the team and he's never traded. He would sign up for that in 2 seconds. I promise you. Dennis Rodman never said, trade me back to the Spurs. I'm with Michael now.
He wasn't saying trade him back. He wasn't giving off that
Luka didn't say it either. What are we talking about? Luka didn't say it either. Luka cried some tears and then dropped 45 and then moved on to the 3 seed in the West and the possible championship for the next 10 years in Los Angeles.
He better stay then. Better stay in L.A. For all this to be right, he better stay in L.A.
That's
just saying. NBA regular day will be
one more time. Steph Curry, LeBron James, round 1. Lakers are going to lock up the 3rd seed. I think the Warriors still get that.
Scrutinized during the summer for letting Paul George go. And we all thought they were going to finish in the lottery, but they are well balanced. They've got 2 closures in Harden and Kawhi. They've got a player in Ivica Zubac who's probably going to be up there for Defensive Player of the Year. They got a top-level coach Norm Powell, and as Perk said, Derrick Jones Jr. I think that's the Oklahoma City's kryptonite there, as far as the ability to defend guards, as far as what we saw what Jones did last year with the Mavericks here. I'm all in on the Clippers. The unfortunate thing is that they're probably staring at that 4-5 game right now, or 4-5 seed right now, and you might get Oklahoma City in the second round.
That would be great if you could see the Clippers and let's say OKC, because then you get Kawhi Leonard against SGA, and it begs the question then, Perk, about Kawhi's health. How much trust do you have in Kawhi staying healthy through the playoffs?
I have a lot of trust in him this postseason. He played a back-to-back a few nights ago. They did an excellent job of managing and getting his body right throughout the course of this season. This is the healthiest that we have seen Kawhi Leonard in a long time. And I think he has it on his mind. He has a chip on his shoulder, right? You think about what he did to get to the Clippers and how they had to give up SGA for Paul George, and then all of a sudden Paul George leave, and now Kawhi Leonard is saying, we got something to prove. I talked to Ty Lue, and he always, I talked to Ty Lue, throughout the course of the season, and he always said how Kawhi was down at times because he was not available, and now he's starting to have that joy back and have that fire to go out and prove to the world that he's still one of the elite guys in the NBA.
I thought it was interesting hearing Perk saying he had more faith in Golden State to make a playoff run as opposed to the Lakers. If that's the case there, Bobby, does Steph Curry need to go on one of those type of runs? Remember, he scored 30 or more in like 4 of the last 6 games. Does he need one of those type of runs for Golden State to make not only a deep playoff run, but maybe win another title?
Yeah, we can't see All-Star Curry or All-NBA Curry. They're going to need MVP Curry as far as for this Golden State team to make a deep run. And I know the addition of Jimmy Butler has certainly given the boost, but this team runs through Steph Curry. And if what we've seen, certainly since the All-Star break, yes, then they have a chance to get to a conference finals. But a lot is going to be relying on what we see from the former MVP.
Does he still have that in him, Perk?
Hell yeah, he do. And the reason being is because Golden State did what they needed to do at the trade deadline and go get him a bona fide second option in Jimmy Butler. So now it frees up Steph in other areas because Jimmy Butler could do so much with the basketball offensively. He could initiate the offense. He could, you could run post-ups for him. And we know Steph is one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league, for us moving without the basketball. And so now you have 3 playmakers on the floor. You have Steph, you have Jimmy, and you have point forward, point center, and Draymond Green, who could also initiate the offense. And we know how that 2-man game looked between him and Steph.
One of the things that happened last night in the NBA, especially out west, with all the things that happened, Phoenix's basically season is going to come to an end in the regular season. They won't make the play-in at all. So I guess the question is, Perk, where do you think Kevin Durant will be playing next season?
Dallas with AD and Kyrie. I wanted to see Kevin Durant in Houston, but if I'm Houston, I don't mess with their young core. They're the 2nd seed, right? It's no rush. They're going to be around for a long time. But if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I'm going all in this offseason to go get Kevin Durant. I would love to see that big 3. That big 3 will be